Dear students, in the last series of our lecture, we discussed the first topic, that is the citation style. After that, we discussed the first citation style in our last lecture, that is MLA style. Today, we will discuss APA citation style. As you know that there are different citation styles available, like MLA, like APA, like Chicago style, right? But in most of the cases in the world, MLA and APA, these two citation styles are used on a large scale, right? So most of the research students, they either go for MLA or go for APA citation style. So it is an open secret that a research student should, or let's take must, select just two out of one style, either MLA or APA style. And if we compare MLA and APA style, we would find that MLA is the number one. Number one in the case of usage. So in most of the cases, MLA is used highly in the world, in the area of research. And there comes number two, that is APA citation style. So today we will focus on APA citation style. As you know that citation styles, these are nothing but the stock of rules and regulations. And these rules and regulations we have to follow blindly. Right? So certain changes are there if we compare APA with MLA. Let's go. If you go to the word that is APA, then the full form of APA is American Psychological Association. American Psychological Association. That means MLA. Here, psychological does not mean it is related to psychology area, right? It does not mean, right? So MLA and APA, these two citations have been evolved and used on a large scale by the Americans first. And as we know that whatever America does, the world imitates, right? So that's why MLA and APA, these two citation styles are the gifts of America to the world. Right? So American Psychological Association developed this APA style. APA style refers to a system of citing research sources, just like MLA. Right? We would just compare and contrast APA with MLA in our today's lecture. So, as you know that for all papers in APA style, we are talking about English literature and in English language. Right? So, if suppose that if there is a research student of English, right? So he must use the Times New Roman font and font size of 12. Same rule is there in MLA. So some common things are there and some different things are there if we compare MLA with APA. Okay, so this is a common rule in MLA and APA regarding the font, that is Times New Roman, and the font size, that is 12. That's a common thing. But in the case of other languages like Marathi, like Hindi, the font changes and the font size also changes. Right? So what we would focus on the English language. The last lecture we discussed the concept of plagiarism. We saw how plagiarism works, how a research student should avoid plagiarism. Plagiarism is nothing but unethical thing. Unethical means valueless, against humanity, we can say. So it is nothing but the theft of material, of resource material, we can say that. So we saw that we must avoid plagiarism. For that reason, we need citation style, right? We also went through the concept of plagiarism in the last lectures. Let's review once again. Plagiarism is nothing but unacknowledged use, means copy and paste, or appropriation of another person's words or ideas. Unacknowledged. Unacknowledged here means we forget deliberately or right or unknowingly to mention the name of the person and the name of the text from where we got that material, right? A form of cheating or stealing. And if you copy and paste something from some book, right, without acknowledgement, without mentioning the name, it would be considered as a cheating or stealing, right? And in the language of law, it is called plagiarism. And we are aware that it is nothing but now an academic offense, a punishable offense now, right? So it is advisable to acknowledge, to mention the name of the source, name of the author, right, in the research material. That's it. We went through this information that when should I cite, right? The thing is that when I, or let's say the student, is copying some sentence, is copying some paragraph, or copying some photograph even, right? At that time, we must acknowledge, we must mention the source, right? And when should I cite? The simple answer is yes, the source material. Suppose that if I am copying 2 or 3 lines from a poem by Kamala Das, I must mention the name of Kamala Das, mention the name of that poem also, right? So that is citation. We went through this also. How should I cite? What happens in the case of APS time? As you know that reference page is there. Okay. In the case of MLA, work cited page is there at the end. Okay. But in the case of APA, work cited, this word is not used. Instead of word cited, we have a references page. The title is changed. Right? Instead of word cited, there is a changed title, that is a references page. And as you know that this references page means the list of the source material from where I copy, right, the lines or the paragraphs or whatever, right? So references, again, it should be arranged alphabetically. Okay. Yes, that's what I am telling you, that it should be listed alphabetically, like A, B, C, D, like that. So for example, this line I got from a book from Mr. Patil. Okay, Mitra is a love story of relationship. Right, I am acknowledging that this line is from Mr. Patil. Okay, see, the copied line is here. After that, right, bracket is over here. In the bracket, just mention the name of the author, Patil. Then comma, then one space, then the year of publication. If we compare this style with MLA, then we just have the difference of comma only. In the case of MLA, what happens? We have the bracket, the same, the name, the same, that is Patil, speak also capital, the same. Year is also there, that is the same case, but a difference is there, that is comma. So in the case of APA, there is the use of comma after the name of the author, but in MLA, there is no use of this comma, right? That's the difference. Okay, but if we are having different situations, so this is the first situation. Okay, we would have different situations in our next slides. Okay. Suppose that if you want to mention the name of the author in the beginning, okay, see over here we mention the name of the author at the end of the line. Okay, this is the copied line. Chitra is the love story of relationship. I just mentioning the name of the source at the end of that copied line. But suppose that if you want to mention it in the beginning, right? See the copied line. Chitra is a love story of relationship. Then what to do? How to cite? Take the name in the beginning, Patil. Then comes bracket, and in that bracket, we need to mention the year of publication of that book, year of publication of that article, that research paper, that thesis. Okay, the year of publication. So this is a different style of citation if compared to MLA. Patil argues that the Chitra is a love story of relationship. Right. What happens in the case of MLA? If we quote the same line in the style of MLA, there comes the how Patil argues that Chitra is a love story of relationship. Then comes 2009 at the end. So that's the difference. When there are two authors, see again a different situation. In the case of two authors, see we have Patil and Pawar, these two authors, right? Patil and Pawar. See, among the critics, Patil and Pawar found that Chitra is a feminist drama. Chitra is a feminist drama. See, in MLA style, the year falls at the end of the line, but in the APA style, the year falls immediately after the name of the authors. See over here, the same case, right? So the year of publication is attached to the name of the author. See, if you want to mention the names of the author at the end, see the different situation. The study also showed that Chitra is a feminist drama, right? So the name is highlighted at the end. Patil and Pawar, comma 2008. Again, the use of comma is there in the case of APA. MLA don't allow us to have a comma. See, Patil and Pawar, right? Like that. These are the other citation situations. These are not related to our study. Let's skip it. Skip it. As I told you that the references list, instead of using word cited, okay, there is the word that is references. Okay. In this page, in the discussion of MLA citation style, we also had the discussion over such a page. In the case of MLA style, there is the heading work cited, but in the case of APA, here comes the heading that is references. Okay. The common thing is that these references or works cited, they are arranged alphabetically, right? Alphabetically. That's the common thing. But if you compare the sheet of references and if you compare the sheet of works cited, there are many changes we can see. The common thing is next is that it starts with the surname of the author. Okay. See, MLA style starts with the surname of the author, and the same thing is there in AP also. Burnett, then comma H dot J dot. So the mentioning style of author's name is the same. No changes there. Okay. But what happens after the name of the author? Immediately there is the publication year or publication month. So this is the change in the case of APA. MLA does what? MLA allows us to mention the name of the year at the end or at the ending part over here. Ending part means over here. But in the case of APA, it allows us to mention immediately after the name of the author. See over here. See over here. Right? See over here. Immediately after the name of the author. So this is the common thing in AP. So the name, the publication year is written within the bracket. That is another thing found in APA. In MLA, publication year is not written within the bracket. Right? Even brackets are not allowed in MLA. Brackets are used in APA style only. See, after the publication year, there comes full stop. Okay, full stop seems to be very minor thing, but as far as works cited list or references or let's say the technicality is concerned, this full stop is also a very important thing as far as citation style is concerned. And then comes the name of the book. See, this is the name. Okay. And let me tell you, this is the journal's name, the article. Okay. And this is the name of the journal, Nutrition Health Review. In the case of MLA, the title is written in italics. The title is written in italics. But in the case of APA, it is not in italics. That's the difference. Okay. See over here. This is the title of the article, and this is the title of the journal. Title of the journal is in italics. If you take, see again, if you continue that page number, right, and the available source information, it must be available online like that. Date of issuing, DOI, date of issuing. Then the second reference we can have the same case over here. Then dry days, wet nights. See the title over here. Right? We don't know the other information about this. In the case of two authors, C. Butler, R.J. Green, D. and Proctor, H. See the use of and. The use of and is allowed in APA, but it is not allowed in MLA. Okay. Then comes full stop. The title is in italics. That's a common thing again. Here, this title is not in italics. The reason is that it is taken from a journal. Okay, and the name of the journal is in italics. And what comes over here? This is the title from some book. Okay, that's why it is in italics. So in the case of an article taken from some journal, the title of the article should not be in italics. The title of the journal should be in italics. That's the thing. So in this case, this is the title of the chapter. Okay. Second edition is there, right? This is the publication authority. See, if there are more than two authors, this is one author, this is two author, second author, this is third author, right? And more. See these dots means more than 3, 4, 5 authors are there. Same is the case. What happens in the case of MLA? The first author's surname is taken, then the first name, right? And the second author's first name is taken. I repeat, in the case of MLA, if there are more than two authors, the first author's surname is taken, then the first name of the author, right? Then, for example, Agrawal Pratik is the first author. Then Deepamala Pendharkar. Okay. Pratik Agrawal, Deepamala Pendharkar. So Agrawal Pratik Pendharkar Deepamala is wrong in the case of MLA. Okay. But in the case of APA, see how all the author's name starts with the surname. That is the difference. Again, the names are followed by the publication year. This is the title of the article in the journal. See, the title of the article is not in italics. The name of the journal is in italics. Okay. The journal is online. Okay. The date of issuing, that is DOI, right? Like that. No more information about that. So this is the way to quote in the case of MLA. As you know that for citation purpose, the same information we should have like MLA, that is author, date, title, source information, and DOI, that is digital object identifier. For example, if we want to cite in APA style, see the style, the last name of the author, then comma, then first name, right? Then comes full stop, bracket is there. Within the bracket, we have the year, and if the month is available, we can mention the month, right? After the year, there should be a comma, right? And after the information of year and month, the bracket is completed with a full stop. This is the title, see, right? This is the title of the research article published in the magazine, or let's say the journal, and the name is Nutrition Health Review. It is in italics, right? It is followed by comma. In the case of MLA, there comes full stop. Comma is over here in the case of MLA, right? This is page number 90. This is the period of publication might be, and digital object identifier. This is the information. So this is the style how a citation should be mentioned in the case of APA. Right? If you concentrate on DOI, that is digital object identifier, what DOI means? It's nothing but a unique alphanumeric sequence starting with 10, used to identify and locate an item on the internet. Right. So if we are taking some material from internet, then from where you got this DOI is nothing but the address. Is nothing but the address. Right. So with the help of the DOI, we can go directly to the source. Okay. See, for example, this is the example. If you type on Google this DOI, then we can directly go to that source. That source may be some book, some article, some journal available on internet. So it means it is not any printed form. It is available in e-form or let's say internet form. Right? So this is DOI. In the case of print resources, so DOI is not related to print resource, it is related to internet, that the material is available on internet. Okay, just like Wikipedia, it is DOI. Oh, in the case of print resources, let's revise again. Author's last name, okay, then comma, then first name, like that, like Patil, comma, Preeti, full stop, like that. Okay. Then if more than one author, see, in the case of MLA, the surname of the first author is taken in the first name. Then again, the first name of the second author is taken in the case of MLA. But APA does what? APA copies the surnames of all the authors. That's the difference. Right? Titles of the books and periodicals are italicized, and only the first word in the title and after the column, and proper nouns are capitalized. Right? See the title. Here, T in the W, drive. These words are not in capitals. The first word in the title, C, first word in the title. And after a column, and proper nouns like clinical, right? Pediatrics, these are the proper nouns, proper names. Okay, so these are in capital form. So this one is not found in MLA. MLA does what? It capitalizes the initial letters in the title. Okay, so in the case of MLA, this W, D will be capital. Right? Articles and chapter titles appear in the regular font with the same rules for capitalization. Right? The title. So we can say that MLA is quite systematic and easy to handle rather than APA. See, that's I'm telling you. First name, the second author, the use of and. In MLA, this and is not allowed, but in the case of APA, and is used. Publication year, then the title, okay, edition is available, place of publication, right? Publisher, that is the company's name, DOI, if available. So this DOI is available or non-available. So it is not compulsory. See, books. In the case of editors, some books are edited. What editor does? Editor just receives the articles or chapters from other authors And what editor does, he combines the selected articles or chapters in a book and publishes it. So that is called editor. Okay. In the newspaper, there is an editor. Editor does what? Editor does different types of news from the reporters and edits it and publish it in the form of a newspaper. Right. So if there are more than one editor, in that case, how to put see surname and again surname. Okay. EDS means editors. Comes full stop. Publication year, the title, okay. Publication city, place, publication company, Oxford University Press. Okay. See, if the author is some corporate company, some council, right? Some group, some committee, what happens in that case? The name of that council, committee, group, team, let's like WHO, it's a group, it's a team, okay? IIT, it's a group, it's a, right? Like that. National Research Council, full stop. It is the study, that is China and damming of the three gorges. This study material is published by this council. Okay, so this council is the author. Publication year, right? Publication place. Okay, like that. This is the different case in the case of the two or more sources by the same author. As we know that in the case of MLA, if the author has published more than one book, then in the list, we just mention the name of the author for the first time. And in the second time, instead of writing the name, we just use hyphens, 3 hyphens. In our simple words, we use 3 dashes, straight lines. So we do not mention the name again. But in the case of APA, we have to mention the names again and again. See, Kiror. Okay. This text is also by the same author, but APA expects to write the name once again. One second, see, Kiror. If we code in the style of MLA, then we must type 3 hyphens over here instead of Kiror over here. Right? The difference is that. So we should also take into consideration this thing. Okay, author's name, article, same information is over here. You can go to afterwards. So all these technicalities are there, right? What to do in the case of MLA, what to do in the case of APA, right? What to follow, what not to follow. All these things are quite critical to understand and even critical to describe also. So it needs patience, it needs reading again and again. So if we want to understand MLA, if we want to understand APA properly, we have to memorize the rules. We have to go through the practice, isn't it? So it is not the case that I am just dictating the information to you and in one go you can understand each and everything about APA or MLA. No, that is not so simple, right? I am doing my own PhD, okay, but still I have to read MLA or APA style again and again, right? So it is nothing but polishing your brain, polishing your brain. I am using MLA style. So I have to refer MLA again and again, again and again. So I have to read the material of MLA style in each month of my study, right? Like that. And it is not so easy. See, in the case of journal, name of the author, publication here, the article title is over here, right? The journal's name. So the title is not in italics. In the case of MLA, it is in italics. That's the difference. Then volume issue, then the page numbers, right? Then the DOI. DOI is optional. Okay. If DOI is available, it means the journal is available on internet. If DOI is not available, it means it is available in print form. Okay. See, in the case of articles, see, journal article, in the case of magazine, and in the case of newspaper. Right. I would ask you to compare and contrast this slide with the articles slide in MLF that we discussed in our last lecture. Journal article, the name, the title, it should not be in italics. The name of the journal is in italics, then the other information as it is. In the case of magazine, we have the same, but see over here, right? Newspaper, name, publication, month and year, the source material, there is some article published in that newspaper, some news, the name of the newspaper, then the page, right? Like that. All these things are mentioned over here. In the case of electronic sources, right, we have to mention DOI. DOI is available in that text, right? If some database means some stored material is available, right, we can also mention over that. See, websites are available over here. We can mention the websites like this using HTTP, right? That is URL in the same way. Electronic sources, see the author, the date of publication, right? Date electronic publication was last updated. Then the title of the document, then the project over here. No italics is used. URL is over here. So URL or DOI, you can have the choice. In the case of journal published on internet, that is e-journal, is the name of the author, the material, the source material is the article, right? It is not in italics. The name of the article is in italics, that is bioscience. Okay. Then the page number, then the other source material, that is information. It is available on online. That's why DOI is over here, right? In the some books, some newspapers are available on internet, right? In that case, see name of the author, same, no change. See, inverted commas are used. Suppose if I am using some news from Lokmat, from Sakar, that's available on electronic sources, that is e-newspaper. Suppose that I am using some newspaper published from Afghanistan, right? It is available on internet. So I can go for some news over here, title of the news over here within the farmers, double inverted commas over here like that. Then the name of the newspaper, okay, then page and other information. The books available on internet, yeah, these e-books, the name, title of the ebook, edition, first edition, second edition, third edition, right? And it is available on internet. The internet source is available over here, right? See, in the case of this book, DOI is not available. we have the HTTP, that is the website is available over here, right? Retrieve from is copied from the source, see Google Books like that. So this is the style of electronic sources. So you have to go through all these things again and again to understand it properly, right? Other sources, technical reports in the case of some committees, right? Suppose that if some government document is there, right? In that case, this slide is used. Go through this slide afterwards, right? If I am quoting from some PhD thesis, okay. So in that regard, you can mention the retrieve from University of microfilms, right? Accession number that is related to that PhD thesis, right? In the case of media, that is video, right? Available on Universal Studios, right? Internal message broadcast like that. I got this from website, weblog at this time. Okay. So let me tell you that with this, let's aim these two citation styles, that is MLA and APA. Let me tell you again that just the citation styles is the matter of practice. So go through the slides again and again and again and again. Compare and contrast APA and MLA styles, right? And after 2 or 3 readings, you can properly understand the difference between MLA and APA style. Let me tell you that for research purpose, the proper understanding of MLA and APA is very essential, right? So let's stop over here. We will continue in our next lecture. Thank you.